in the area. You have tougher languages coming from the Vice President and others with regard to Iran, not so much on the nuclear program, but with regard to their operations in Iraq. Everything is indicating to people here in this town that there's something going on.
Yeah, and let me just, I'll reiterate what I said from the podium. We're not planning...
It seems to be like he does protest too much with regard to what's going on there.
How can it be he does protest too much when I say it's not true? I mean, that's... Do you want me to say, well, it's kind of not true. It's almost not true. It's sort of kind of not... It's not true. I'm trying to give you a straight and clear answer.
We're looking at two things. One is the words, one are the deeds.
All right.
And the words seem to say, no, we're not going to do anything provocative against Iran. But the deeds are saying something is going on.
Two things. When you talk about provocation, the movement toward the development of a nuclear program with the public pronouncements of President Ahmadinejad, those are provocative. When you have him traveling the world and talking about killing large masses of people, that's provocative. When you have the presence of Iranians on Iraqi soil killing Americans, that is provocative. What the United States is doing in Iraq is doing force protection. We're protecting our people, which is not only what you'd expect, it's the smart and wise thing to do. But as for your suspicion, I believe it. I don't want to read anything into it. Do you suspect that we're planning to invade Iran?
I suspect that there is some move to try and create some kind of a conflict with Iran where the U.S. could move north.
No, as a matter of fact, the strategy with Iran is... Well, okay, well, let me reassure you and everybody else. We're not planning on invading Iran. Instead, the strategy continues to be the use of diplomacy as a way of putting pressure on the regime in Tehran to do some things that are going to be very good for it and its people, which are going to be good economically. They're going to be good in terms of relations with people in the neighborhood. They offer also reassurance to the Iranian people that this government has a lot of respect, admiration, and affection for the people of Iran. So those are all things that you need to take into account when it comes to people on Iraqi soil trying to kill Americans, trying to move arms that are going to be used to kill Americans or innocent Iraqis. It is a matter of military necessity to confront them and take them on. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I know you won't talk about intelligence matters, but one would assume since you're finding IEDs produced in Iran, in Iraq, that somehow they were in Iran being produced. Yeah. If there are in fact IED factories or IEDs being made there that harm U.S. soldiers, or there are training camps for people going into Iraq to cause harm, why not go after them?
Well, I'm not going to try to debate the proposition. I've told you what the policy is.
Thank you, Tony. One question with two parts. With regard to your statement, quote, border guards must obey the law too. Question, now how have so many millions of illegal aliens been able to enter our country if the President and his predecessor were seriously enforcing border and immigration laws?
Well, obviously there was a point where, in fact, it was not enforced seriously. That's why the President has committed more resources than anybody in history and has made further commitments about border security in the future, not only in terms of personnel, but also technology. And has made it furthermore has been far more aggressive than anybody. I think you'll agree with this, Les, in terms of what we call interior enforcement, going after employers in a way that nobody else has done before, to send a clear message that if you're hiring illegals and you're doing it all, if you're hiring illegals, we're going after you, and especially if you're doing it in a way that you have people who are here illegally who are also taking jobs that Americans might want to have.
That's a good answer, and I just have one point. One further. Why do you believe the primary problem with the border and immigration policy has not been the result of non-enforcement of existing laws, largely by the executive branch of the government?
Run that by me again.